Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This morning I thought we could just have a little bit of coffee together and I could tell you about Britney Spears' book and some other stuff that's going on, okay? So, I just finished Britney Spears' memoir, The Woman in Me, right? And I listened to the audiobook. So, she didn't narrate the audiobook except for the introduction, right? And then the person who narrated it was Michelle Williams. I think this was an excellent choice. Michelle Williams is an actress, right? And she's been in some things, but, we're not going to talk about that today. She narrated this book extremely well. The cadence in her voice and everything really reflected well for the story and kept it moving and was wonderful. So I wanted to mention that first. I read a lot of audiobooks, and I have realized that the narrator of these audiobooks is very important to the novel. So when I'm narrating an audiobook, I want to make sure that I point out, how great the narrator is, or, if the book could have used like multiple narrators, stuff like that, because, it's so important. So on the Audible listing here, it says Spears turns over the mic to award-winning performer Michelle Williams, who makes her audiobook debut. And so this was her first time narrating an audiobook. Brings her incredible acting chops to the challenge of depicting one of America's most famous women. Her narration is clear and calming. I would agree with that. She did an excellent job. I have no qualms over that. And then, I know, here, let me look it up. I know that Britney Spears used a ghostwriter for this book. And, whoever it was, they did a very good job of depicting her voice, right? But you can really tell, because there were a couple of times, and I was listening to the audiobook while driving, or I would have written it down for you guys, but there were 2 times in particular where there were words that were used that I have an extensive vocabulary because I'm a reader and I've been a writer my whole life. I was in the newspaper as a little child with a story I wrote. But anyway, I didn't know these 2 words. So I was like, ghostwriter, you should have used different word choices for that, because whenever that happens, it kind of throws you out of the story, right? Otherwise, Britney Spears' voice seemed to be captured really well by this ghostwriter, and his name was Sam Lansky. Let's see, American journalist and author, Sam Lansky. That's on the Independent, just in the Google search part. But yes, okay, so I really enjoyed this. There are some juicy little tidbits that get told about Britney Spears' life. And I think that's okay, so I thought what was really enthralling and captivating was I could really identify with a lot of the stuff that Britney Spears was talking about, because her and I are almost the same age. She was born the year after I was born. And her sons were born the same year my sons were born. So they're around the same age, 2005 and 2006. And I'm not, identifying with Britney on this, but she does kind of like her sister, Jamie Lynn Spears, had a child when she was like a teenager, and I did too. And Britney kind of because, their relationship is not perfect. She brings this up like, Jamie Lynn is not, this perfect angel, because she had a baby when she was a teenager. And honestly, Britney, that's very hard. A lot of people judge you when you have a child as a teenager. I was 15. But, I beat the odds. My son right now has a great job. He's earning his master's degree. I have my master's degree. So, we beat the odds. We are not a statistic around here. But anyway, I wanted to point that out because when I was reading that, I was like, girl, you don't even know what that's like. You know, I could probably identify with her sister, Jamie Lynn, on that point a little more, but I do identify with having kids very close together. You know, my kids are around the same age as Britney's. And so when it got to the point where, you know, and this played out in public, you know, when she got a divorce and, you know, Kevin Federline has custody of the two boys that they had together, I could really empathize with Britney when she was talking about that because, like, my two sons that were born close together, I got to homeschool them for a lot of their lives, and so I got to be really close to my sons. And that's something that, you know, that's a defining core thing in my life. And if that were to ever be ripped away by anyone, and I could see the way it was explained in the book, how it just like snowballed on her and was so awful, and she was manipulated and stuff like that. Awful. That's all, you know, that's the word that comes to my head. And I really did. I had a knot in my chest reading through that part because, you know, it was breaking a little bit for her. So I thought it was an excellent book, you know, and you get to learn a lot about this pop star's life. That's really fascinating. Yeah, well, it was just like such an interesting book. I really enjoyed it. It kept my attention. And I would probably give this book 4 stars. It was great. I loved listening to the audiobook, and it's really short. It's 5.5 hours. I just listened to it in little 30-minute increments and stuff while I was driving and whatnot. But I definitely would recommend it if you're interested in learning more about Britney Spears, especially the audiobook. It was really good. So I also wanted to talk to you guys today about something else, and that is colonoscopies. So I'm going to be getting one tomorrow, and I wanted to talk to you about it openly because my father died of colon cancer. And colonoscopies are very important. This will be my first one, but it's the best way to prevent colon cancer, right? And I'm just extremely nervous. So today I have to do like a liquid diet, so I can't put any cream in my coffee. It's just black coffee with sugar. And I don't even use sugar in my coffee. Usually it's just oat milk, but I'm not going to drink it black with nothing in it, you know. I am not excited for this, but I know it's important and I know that I have to get it done. I'm just really nervous and, you know, I hope everything goes well. But I wanted to talk about it openly and get it out there because it's important. I know that Kirstie Alley also died of colon cancer, didn't she? I just got done watching like Bad Actress, like binge watching it. It's like a short little thing. And then I was learning so much about like, I think she was like in some weird church, right? My favorite role for her was Rebecca Howe in Cheers, definitely. She died of colon cancer. It is the fourth most common form of, oh, here is the article I'm reading from. NBC News, Kirstie Alley died of colon cancer. These are the disease's early signs if you want to look it up. In the U.S., doctors recommend a colonoscopy every 10 years for people ages 45 and up. Now, I'm not quite 45, but since my father passed away from colon cancer, they want to do it just a little bit early for me. 90% of colorectal cancer patients are age 50 or older. Diagnoses in younger adults have been rising. New cases of colorectal cancer went up more than 2% each year among people under 50 from 2012 to 2016. So I wonder if like Kirstie Alley didn't get the preventative colonoscopies because she found out she had colon cancer and then she died soon after that. Well, how scary. But, you know, I want to be proactive and get that stuff cut out of me before it ever becomes a problem, right? So that's what I'm doing tomorrow, and I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Anyway, I just wanted to share a little bit of stuff with you today about, the book I just finished up and what I'll be doing tomorrow. So I don't know when I'll have my next video up because I don't know how this colonoscopy is going to make me feel, if it's not even that big of it. I've never had one, So we'll see. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Sunday, and I will see you guys again real soon. Bye-bye.